so we're going to dig into a new lesson, which is two different things in one. We're going to look at slope first, and then the next video is going to be how to graph a line. But we've got to know a little bit about slope to understand how to graph a line. Yesterday we graphed points, and now we're going to put those points into a line. So let's dig into slope first. So what is slope? So slope tells you the direction and steepness of a line. M stands for the slope or movement. We read lines from left to right just like you read words. So different types of graphs. So what kind of slope? So this is going to be, so don't forget your slope dude. So if I draw a little dude walking, it looks like he is walking up. So this is going to be positive slope. So slope is just basically we're looking at a line. So this line is going to go up to the positive. And if I draw my little slope dude, it looks like he's going down. So this one is negative slope. And again, it's just what it looks like. So when it's the slope guy is horizontal, this is zero slope. If the line is vertical, so it looks like he's falling off, he's not even on the line, this is no slope. And then this last one, it's a little hard to see, but what it is, these have all been lines. This is not a line, so this one doesn't have any slope because it's not linear. And linear just means it's not a line. Okay, so let's dig a little bit more into it. So the value of slope can be found by drawing right triangles. Okay, so we locate a point on the graph, two different points, and then we can count the number of spaces and kind of draw a triangle. So the height is the rise, so that's going up. So I can count the spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. And then your run is this direction. When you run, you go run side to side or left to right. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So to write that as slope, we would have 13 over 8. So what is the slope? 13 over 8. Okay, but the next thing is we got to look at signs. How do you know if it's positive or negative? Well, zero and no slope, they're pretty different. But see, our slope is going up to the right. And so that means it's going to be positive slope. So it's just positive 13 over 8. Okay, so let's look at one that's not positive. So again, we locate points on the line. So the height of the triangle, how tall it is. So if I count up, that is 6. And then the base of the triangle, we go, is 15. Put the 16, 15, 13, 8. All right, so we write that as a fraction. So again, the rise is on top over the run. So 16 over 15. Oop. And so it says reduce the fraction to find a similar triangle. So reducing. So what goes into both, which is 3. So we get 2/5. So for this one, it is negative because our line is coming down. And you can look up here, this is a negative slope. So it's going to be a negative 2/5. Okay, and it doesn't matter which number is negative, 16 can be negative or 15 can be negative. All right, so let's practice a little bit more on finding slope. So you can find slope by counting, identify 2 points on the line, make a fraction, rise over run, reduce the fraction, leave improper. So like 13 over 8 was improper. And then check the slope, do it about, and check the sign. Okay, so I'm gonna do our triangles a little bit different. So I'm gonna make it look like actual rising. So I'm gonna start from the bottom dot and we're going to rise and then run. So I'm gonna rise, the goal is to get even with this dot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're gonna run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so here's kind of a hint. If we run left, it's negative. And if we run right, it's positive. So for this one, we went to the left, so it's going to be negative. So our slope is negative 7 ninths. Okay, let's try this one. So this one doesn't have any dots, so we're going to identify our dots. Where does it cross on the line in the corner? So right here and right here. And it can cross shorter distances, longer distances, it depends on what you identify. So our goal is to get to the dot above, so start from the bottom. We're going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go over 1, 2, 3, 4. So for this, we ran to the right, so it's going to stay positive, so our slope is 5 over 4. All right, for this next one, so we can't make a triangle, okay, because it's not a slant. So if we look back at the top, this line looks like this one, so that means it's going to be no slope. And we don't put 0 because there's a difference between 0 slope and no slope. All right, for this next section, we're going to skip it. You'll get more into that in 8th grade with your finding slope with 2 numbers. Okay, so the bottom section. So this is kind of moving into what we're doing today. So you have to identify the slope and then identifying different letters. So with slope, you're given the equation y equals mx plus b. The slope is the value attached to x. So m stands for movement, b stands for the beginning. This is where you start. So our slope is 3, but it's not a fraction, so it's kind of new. So what do we do if it's not a fraction? We make it a fraction by putting 1 underneath. So the number on top now is our rise, which is 3. The bottom number is our run, which is 1. Okay, so the next one, 1/2 x, negative 1/2 x plus 7. So our slope, again, is the number next to x, which is negative 1/2. The rise is the number on top, which is negative 1. The run is the number on bottom of the fraction, which is 2. And then we have 5/3 x plus 1. So our slope, again, is the number to the left of x, which is 5/3. The number on top is our rise, and the number on bottom is our run, which is 3. Okay, and we're not going to worry about this last section. So now we're going to get into graphing an equation. So we're going to be looking a lot like this bottom section. You have to identify the slope, what is the rise, and what is the run, and then we'll talk about where to start when you graph your equation on our next set of notes.